This is the best gift I have ever received. This is the Fellowship Blades Medusa, and this was given to me by Grant, who is the owner and operator of Fellowship Blades. This was a gift, not for the sake of review, not for the sake of I did something special for him or a sponsorship or anything like that. We met Grant and Dalen from Machine Wise at Blade Show, Blade East, I guess it was 2022, Blade East 2022, this past Blade East, and we just had fun. We hung out with them, Will and Brandon, and it was just a super good time. And that was our first time ever talking to Dalen or Grant in more of a casual setting. Of course, I'd talked to Dalen about getting my Prisma because that had to be arranged before Blade Show. But after that, we kind of split ways. We didn't really talk at all. I had, of course, responded to some of their stories and talked about some stuff. But one day I responded to Grant's story about I believe it was texturing on the Medusa, because he had a custom, a limited edition one. I apologize, I have only been flipping my Kraken trainer like all of today, so this is a little odd to me, but I absolutely love this thing. We'll get into that in a minute. But I set up on a story, and I was like, hey, that's pretty sick. You're doing really good. What I tried from you at Blade Show was absolutely awesome. And yeah, basically just keep doing you. And we just got talking about, just about machining, about products, about design. And I had somehow mentioned that I only have aluminum balisongs. And he was like, okay, understandable. Is it because of the price? Is it because you don't like them? And I was like, I literally am just too poor to get titanium, like, well-made, high-quality balisongs. And he was like, I understand that, but if you ever have a hankering for a titanium balisong, let me know. And I responded with, I've had hankering for titanium balisongs since Blade Show. And lo and behold, we talked for a little while, we discussed some stuff, discussed some opportunities and possibilities, and a couple days later, in the mail, I got this, the Golden Fellowship Blades Medusa. Here's the thing about this that you guys need to understand. This is not a production model. This is not something he was going to sell and he gave to me just out of his generosity. This is a scrap model. It's pretty dinged up around the pivots. There were some assembly issues that caused some damage up here. So it's like a scrap model, basically. He was not going to sell this, but he managed to throw something together just for me because he said he liked what we were doing. He thinks that me and Ethan are doing well and becoming good figures in the community, so he wanted to support me. And Ethan's the type of person who will not accept a gift if he thinks it's too generous. I, on the other hand, if somebody is going out of their way to offer something to me, then I know they're doing it for a good reason. So when he offered to send me this, I was like, are you sure? Like, you really want to send me one? And he's sure, so I'm going to let him. And of course, I'm not going to deny the opportunity to have one of the coolest looking knives that I've ever seen. Ever since I saw the Medusa for the first time, I've been like, this is absolutely insane looking, mostly because of the blade profile. And of course, I'm not going to deny that. I mean, it might sound selfish. It might sound like, oh, I have creator privilege and that stuff. If you're telling me one of the coolest knives you've ever seen, the maker approached you and said, hey, do you want one? You're telling me you're going to say no? Of course you're going to say yes. Don't even try to deny that. Of course you're going to say yes. But the thing you also got to understand with this is that I did not approach Grant. Grant came to me out of his own, like, respect that we have for each other. And especially after getting this and talking to him about materials and machining and designing and all that, I have so much respect for Grant because he knows so much. And he is such a nice person to talk to, and he's always down to explain things. And just huge shout out to Grant for being an awesome person and just overall incredibly knowledgeable and a cool person to hang out with and talk to. Awesome dude, love that guy. he makes some damn good knives. So let's talk about this knife now that the story and how I got it is out of the way. The Medusa is my first titanium knife, and it is something I was not used to right off the bat because it's big. It's titanium. Titanium's different than aluminum, but I love it. The Medusa, this is a V2 Medusa, by the way. It's neutral. It has a good neutral balance. A lot of people say that it's heavily blade bias, or at least a little blade bias. That is not the case. I think people are just used to like super light aluminum handle bias. Like, I think people are used to squid. Squid products are not neutral except for the squid trainer. Everything else from squid has a handle bias. And a lot of people, including myself, I've been very guilty of this. A lot of people are so used to their Mako, they're so used to their Triton, they're so used to their Kraken trainer, their Nautilus, that they think that is neutral. It is not. Just from comparing between the hundreds of Balisongs, not hundreds, but 50 plus Balisongs I tried at Blade Show, and also what I have in my collection, squid Balisong, even Lucas will admit, squid Balisongs have handle bias. Almost every single one of them. So saying this is blade bias just because you compare it to a Squid Industries product is not quite correct. It is fairly neutral. I would even argue with maybe a slight handle bias, but mostly it just comes down to the momentum is very well placed, and that gives it a good, our weight distribution is very well placed, that gives it a good momentum. That's what I was trying to say. And that mostly comes down to the blade shape and this kind of chunk at the bottom of the handles with this huge cutout. So the weight is here, and it is especially here, which offers some great momentum and great speed for, not great speed, geez, great smoothness for rollover tricks, cherry pickers, which I am still kind of sucky at, but it's not a huge blade bias. It's neutral. It has been neutral since the very beginning. It's just different than what a lot of people like. So, but the Medusa, grade 5 titanium, S35 VN steel. I'm going to do something. Please do not yell at me. This thing has been dropped onto, I'll do it again right here. This thing was sent to me for the purpose of beat it, review it, test everything. By the way, no tap after that. And I'm going to do that. I'm not going to purposely throw it against concrete. I'm not going to destroy it, but I'm not going to baby it. S35 VN steel is ridiculously strong. This is the first knife I've had with S35 VN, and it is really, really strong. And grade 5 titanium handles, especially in this huge block at the bottom, very, very strong. This thing is an absolute tank, and that is the best freaking part. It's an absolute tank that genuinely flips really good, and I love that. I did not like the Chab because I didn't like the way it flips. It was too heavy, it was sluggish for my taste. This, though, is still light and maneuverable enough that I can flip it very well with this beast, that was dangerous, with this beast of a Balisong. The spinning meat cleaver is what I call this thing. This thing is so goddamn sick. And everyone I know who has a, well, no, I'm not going to say that. A lot of people I know who have a Medusa love the thing just as much as I do. It's a very cool creation. And Grant is one of the nicest people and just the best person to talk to about machining, about designing, about not flipping, but like what makes a good flipper, kind of. But especially machining, designing, materials, production. Grant knows his shit, to put it simply. I picked this man's brain about a bunch of stuff, why titanium is harder to mill than aluminum, picked his brain about like designing one material to feel like another material. I picked his brain about so much stuff, and he was very, very open to telling me about it and giving me all this information, and that's super sick, and I'm very appreciative. As somebody who loves to learn, I am very, very appreciative of that. So thank you to Grant for sending this out. The Medusa is absolutely sick and is my EDC knife, on top of just being a cool-ass person. So thank you to Grant, and thank you all of you guys for watching. I've been Telestro on the Blade Bias channel. Ah, that was so lame. Let me do it again. Ready? Watch this. I don't know why I did it this way. I don't know what I'm planning to do here. Okay, here we go. No, bruh! I can't believe I keep messing this up. There we go. Thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you all very soon. Make sure to follow me on Instagram if you want to see this or just more stuff. And follow Grant Fellowship Blades on Instagram and everywhere else. Get yourself a Medusa. They are well worth every penny. I was already planning on buying one eventually. It was going to be one of my first titanium knives, but Grant was kind enough to send me this this scrap model out of the generosity of his heart. So, thank you, Grant, very much. Thank you to you guys for watching. I will see you all very, very soon. Peace out.